What if you have to address a crowd of thousands without knowing the topic? How could that be possible, that without knowing the subject we could actually speak on the topic? Well, that is the truth. You must know the topic. But what if you cease to know anything, whatever you have learned, as you stand on the podium in front of so many people, you just draw a blank. You have no idea as what you should be saying, because all the knowledge of yours, all that you have learned and gained, ceases to cooperate. You just draw a blank. So if you become really spontaneous out there, would you be able to do justice to the job that has been assigned to you? You probably will say no. And the answer is actually, and could be, and should be, no. All the topics that you want to talk about doesn't have to have the back of knowledge, because everything can be Googled. You can just go there, run a Google search, and all the information is available to you. So all the knowledge and the facts and figures that you have to memorize in order to be impressive is actually obsolete in today's world, is actually obsolete. So the only thing that today could be defined as the most intellectual thing is to become disruptive in our nature, become disruptive in our ways of thinking. And more often than not, the people who have succeeded in business in the world today, especially in the technological space, are the ones who have come about with something so unique and innovative that it has replaced the other outdated thing, that has made other things redundant. So in this case, you would always find that knowledge always takes a back seat, and the disruption comes from innovative thinking, that this matter could be resolved like that. So no matter how much you place emphasis on knowledge, but knowledge will always fall short in the face of innovation. Well, you got to know what has been in the past just as a reference point for you to do something much more adventurous, because how would you know what you're doing if you do not know the legacy and the past? So the point here is that anything that is in the world as knowledge is actually just a perceptual understanding, a reference point for you which has to do with how relative it is to you. Whether it will make sense to other person has nothing to do with what you can relate with, because my preference could be just opposite of yours. So what I may consider as knowledge is trash for someone XYZ. Yes, because that person is very innovative, can come up with something much more than what your knowledge can ever do. You can just know the data and analytics, but that may not be good enough to resolve the issues that he or she can, but does not have that impressive knowledge as yours. So knowledge is a reservoir that you can draw some information from, but that is not good enough in today's world to resolve issues. That's why the challenging situations that we face today are not solved by the most educated, academically qualified people of the world, but the most innovative ones. Knowledge is subservient to innovation. Knowledge can back innovation, but just a memorized concept of some theoretical aspect which has come down from XYZ down the line may not be able to resolve today's demand and rapidly changing world economy and landscapes. Thank you very much. See you soon. Namaskaram.